Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Boss Battle Show. I am one of your hosts, Adam Ronan. Ooh. The other host that you see to my left or you hear in the same ear holes that you're listening to my voice is Gordy.
Hello, folks.
Hello, Gordy. Welcome to another episode. We're back. We took some time because we had just exuberant amount of tech issues for the last few weeks. Yeah. Not to mention then I went on vacation for like a week and a half and then came back to tech issues. So we've, if you've been wondering where are all the episodes, where's the content, we encountered tech issue after tech issue after tech issue. We've tried numerous different things to get podcasts and everything to work. We're struggling. We're on the struggle bus to Fucktown. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Just like shoot all the way
down.
Hey, next stop, Boner. What's cracking? How you living? You are looking mighty skinny.
Am I? Yeah, I feel a little bit skinny.
Am I?
Here and there.
Why is that? Do you suppose? Do you think it's because we're on a new enlightened journey to health and fitness?
Yes. Yes, our trip to the Shangri-La Center really turned everything around.
We went to the Shangri-La Center and they said,
lose some weight, you fat
pieces of shit. Yes. So good work. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you
our
as well.
5 female viewers and maybe even less listeners. They're going to be like, I said, goddamn, look at that Gore. Look at Gore Verbinski or Gorbachev with his fucking birthmarks and shit. Okay, so let's just get back into this show in particular. We are going to cover kind of the wrap up of what happened at GamesCom that just ended and just the things that have happened in the last week. This is basically just going to be a longer Week in Geek type of thing. We're kind of just going to get back into the swing of things, covering over some news and just talking about stuff that's happening in video games. And then, of course, we'll get to part 2 of our augmented reality and virtual reality topic in the next episode. We'll get to that part 2 for those of you that were interested. So GamesCom just wrapped up, and that is basically Germany's E3 for those of you that aren't uninitiated. Things happen, trailers get revealed, things like that. So a lot of developers, they choose not to reveal stuff at E3, and they hold it for GamesCom, or maybe stuff's not ready. And then, so, you know, if you don't see what you're looking to see at E3, you can kind of get your boner ready for GamesCom.
Yeah.
And if you don't see it at GamesCom, you can hope that it comes to PlayStation Experience that comes later in the year. And if you don't see it there, you can hope it gets revealed at the Game Awards that happens in December. And if nothing happens there, you have to wait till E3 again.
Yep. Those are the places.
I, as you know, famously have been chomping at the bit for Ed Boon to give me some news on if they're ever going to make a game again.
Yeah.
He has since, as you may not know, gone on Twitter, posted a picture of them motion capping, and he said, it was the 8th anniversary of NetherRealm Studios. He's like, I can't believe we've been NetherRealm Studios for eight years. He's like, I know we don't have anything to show you guys just yet, but rest assured we are working very hard on our next game and can promise you it's going to be our best game yet. And then it showed motion capture of dudes being mo-capped. Probably, obviously, a fighting game, probably MK11, but the fucking hype meter started to like tick, 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 tick.
It's just creeping up there.
It's creeping. So I think if I can make a new bold prediction,
please do.
They're not working out for me lately, so I think I've lost whatever magical touch I had. But I think that we'll see an announcement of Mortal Kombat 11 at the Video Game Awards this December.
At the Video Game Awards.
Yeah, because that's arguably there's E3, there's Gamescom, and then I think the next biggest showing in the video game industry is the Video Game Awards. That happens or it used to be on like Spike, and now you watch on Twitch and stuff. Remember, that's what so I think that's probably a safe bet. If we don't see it there, then it'll be next E3. But I think that's what's happening. But anyway, I'll talk about some video games. First of all, let's kind of dig into what we are playing currently, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because some things have happened, folks.
Some weird things.
Very bizarre. First of all, I know you dug into Octopath Traveler a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you think?
Compared to everybody in my friends list, I've barely blown the dust off the cover of it. But it's really cool. Are you
saying that everyone has played this shit out of it?
Extensively, yeah.
Oh, really?
So Octopath Traveler, for those that don't know, is a Switch game. It's a classic JRPG in the style of, you know, your 90s classics like Final Fantasy 3 and stuff like that. Except it is how would you describe the graphics? It's a trick. It's like an 8-bit, but it's 3D rendered.
It's 8-bit. It's 3D rendered, but still in a 2D plane. But kind of like you can. I mean, obviously,
you can see depth.
You've seen trailers, but yeah, depth, and it's got a really unique depth of field effect, which I think is gorgeous. It almost
it's very pretty.
Gives it a miniatures feel.
It
like
does.
How you see,
it looks like
in miniature photography,
like
tilt shift.
Tilt shift cameras.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. I played the prologue that you can download on the Switch for free briefly, like for 10 minutes. I was like, does this capture my attention immediately? And it did not.
Yeah.
I still would give it a shot, but we're on the precipice of a lot of games coming out. We're talking the fucking precipice. So right now we're playing one particular game pretty obsessively. Now, before we get
no
shit
judgy.
No judgy. We've always been pretty open that we like battle royale modes. Like I thought PUBG was super cool.
Yeah.
Never got into Fortnite. It just didn't appeal to me as a human being. But I always dug PUBG. Even though I didn't play it a whole ton, but I loved the notion of it. It was very stressful. It was really cool because it's like shit matters. If you get killed, you're done.
Yeah.
But then I went out to South Carolina to see family, and I have two nephews, one which just turned 16 and the other one's 13. And, you know, it's 2018. What are 13-year-olds and 16-year-olds doing? They're slobbering on the fucking knobs of Fortnite.
Yes.
And I made fun of them. And I said, you guys are completely stupid.
Losers.
You guys are the biggest losers I've ever met. And I was like, sit me down. Show me why Fortnite is cool to you guys. Like, what is the deal with Fortnite? Why is everyone fucking all over it? And I want to say 45 minutes later, I bought a battle pass and I was fucking playing it with them on my Switch. We were cross-play, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. I don't know what happened. Like, they showed me like the ins and outs of building, and then once I saw, because I thought building was the dumbest thing with Fortnite. It was like building. That was the thing.
Yeah.
I was like, the building aspect doesn't appeal to me. But then once I got the hang of building and saw what people were doing in the matches with building, and I watched this match where they like just built up fighting and doing all this crazy shit, I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then of course the skins and all the different stuff, it was very like addictive to me. I was like, that's cool. I would buy that. I would spend a couple bucks on that. What's $5, you know? And then, and then I was like, if that skin's fucking $20, holy shit. It's 80s. It's got a boombox. Why not? Right? What's $20? I come back to Colorado. Gordy and I are hanging out, and I say, Gordy, bear with me. You got to try Fortnite with me.
I remember that moment.
Yeah, because it was like it was 6 days ago.
Pretty stunning to me.
Yeah. And then I was like, play it with me tonight. And what happened? What do you think? Walk me through your experience.
Okay, so it's Fortnite. It's silly, goofy battle royale with the visual aesthetic of Lionhead Studios game, Fable. And it's like PUBG, only it's a little more carefree, fun, with a really clever business model that is expertly just jagged. It like they're like, hey, this amazing samurai skin is available for 24 hours and gone forever afterwards. And you're like, oh shit. Well, click, $20 later.
When did it click over to you that you're like, oh, this is actually cool? When we were playing? When I died, actually. So I was going up against a guy. He threw up some walls. Then he made a ramp and came up from above me and took me out. And I was like, oh, that's really different. That's interesting. Yeah.
So the next couple rounds, I tried to do the same thing. And I got a kill, and I was like, and then it just connected. I was like, this is pretty fun. This is a carefree, fun time. And then we played it a couple more times, and then it was fun. So the other night we were on my couch, and I boot up Fortnite just because there was the new update that just came out a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, there's like some map updates, some crazy shit's going on because it has an interesting narrative. If you haven't played Fortnite,
there's like even though there's no like cutscenes or no cinematics or anything, but there is a narrative that takes place within the game that is kind of cool. So we were checking out some stuff, and we just happened to click over to the item shop, and boom, the fucking samurai skins were right there, and I was like, whoa! And I was like, how do we not buy these?
Yeah.
And it was the whole set ended up being $25. I had already spent $20 on the 80s skin because samurais in the 80s are my shit. I was like, I gotta have that boombox on my back. And then the samurai, I could not have the samurai. Oh, and I also bought that sushi fucking dude because I was at the time that was the closest thing I could get to a samurai. I would buy him, so I was like, I wish I had a samurai skin. And then like 2 days later, there was a samurai skin, and I was like, fuck. So I've spent like $60 on the game already.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't understand. I'm like, it's a beta. It's a beta. And somehow they're getting all my money. And then it was funny because we were playing, and then like an hour later, you materialized as the samurai. I was like, you did it. You spent the money.
I had to. I was like, if I'm going to be putting some time into this, I don't want to look, like a random dude every time or just the default.
Yeah, you got to look cool. Yeah, totally understand. So that's what we've been playing, Fortnite. However, as I mentioned a few moments ago, we are on the precipice of things that are coming out.
So many.
We've got Spider-Man's coming out. We got Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Red Dead Redemption 2, Battlefield 5, which I'm kind of excited about. I don't know how I feel about Call of Duty, but all these things are coming out in a very short window of time, and I do want to play all of them, and I will probably buy them, and then that will be the rest of my year in gaming probably. So, anyway, GamesCom happened. We're going to get into GamesCom news. Now, there was a lot of stuff that happened at GamesCom. We're not going to talk about everything. I picked and chose the things that I thought we would be most excited about and the things that mattered to me and Gordy. But of course, there was new maps for Overwatch. There's a new mode that's launching for For Honor that looks really cool in arcade mode. There was Resident Evil 2 gameplay that finally showed Claire Redfield's stuff. There's actually a screenshot or some of the gameplay where she's then it totally sparked memories from the original Resident Evil 2. How you had to with that little blonde girl. Do you remember that?
Oh, the little girl. Yeah.
And so anyway,
the water levels and everything. Yeah.
Anyway, there's gameplay with her and the little blonde girl, and I was like, oh shit, I remember that. So I'm getting really excited for that. That's going to be really cool. I think we should Fiesta that.
I think we should Fiesta as well.
Absolutely. And then, of course, Diablo 3, there's playable versions of that on the Switch. People are really enjoying that. I think that Blizzard's bringing that to the Switch in big form with all of the expansions, including on the cart. It's very cool. So lots of stuff happened there, and we'll just kind of gloss over those things. But let's kind of get into the stuff that happened there that we're excited about. And the first thing that I want to riff on, Gordy, if you will, is now this was kind of as GameStop was wrapping up, but in an interview with Engadget, the producer, Richard Borziumowski, that's probably not right. Anyway, he's one of the developers on Cyberpunk 2077 from CD Projekt Red. And he explained that they had an announcement that they finally got a breakthrough in their process and their development. After 6 years, the game can finally be played through from beginning to end with the story finally in place. Of course, quote, it's still missing assets, includes bugs, and requires playtesting, but it's a major step. It gives you all the answers to your doubts, and it just, quotes, feels great. Which is exciting to me because now the game's starting to feel like it's moving along. There's a lot of hoopla, am I wrong? Or that people are upset that they didn't show gameplay footage. Yeah,
there's some controversy around it for sure.
There's some controversy. Now, again, just like E3, they showed a demo behind closed doors for several people in the industry. Another hour-long demo with some variances, but it was pretty much the same demo. People are floored by it when they see it, but the player base is left a bit frustrated. They're like, WTF, mate, we want to see the game. We're very excited. It's been 6 years. Why can't consumers see it? And I say to them, patience is a virtue. If you think about Red Dead Redemption and Rockstar with Grand Theft Auto, they do not show you gameplay until almost a month or two before the games come out.
Yeah.
We just got the gameplay trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
That game doesn't come out till October, which is a month and a half away. So it's no one's freaking out about that. So it's relax, The game, I think, Cyberpunk is probably, maybe like a year and a half, possibly 2 years away still.
Yeah,
so
I'm
it's like, put it out of your head. We'll get the gameplay soon. But are you thrilled about Cyberpunk?
I'm excited for it. It was, it's not without its controversy and behind the studio and all that. And that aside, who cares? Because look at, Geralt of Rivia. The Witcher
3, yeah.
Phenomenal game. Beautiful game.
I love The Witcher. I never
They
finished
came through on The Witcher, and I think they're going to come through on this game. And even though it won't have everything it was promised with, it'll probably floor those.
You mentioned something to me yesterday that they maybe Molly knew some stuff.
Well, yeah, the early, I can't remember. I watched the video and read a little bit about it, and some of the things that were cut out, like being able to choose your own character. And it sounds like at that point in development, it was going to be a third person.
Oh yeah, that would have been
which
sweet.
has also changed. So you don't create your own character anymore, and you aren't in third person anymore.
But you can choose your sex.
So there's two characters.
So there is the main character V, and that's the protagonist.
Yes.
But when you start the game, you can customize V to be either a man or a woman. They have the narrative fleshed out to be either a man or a female. So there is a bit of customization to your character, but the character is set in stone.
Cool.
So, and that's fine because it's like Witcher. If you're going to go through a full narrative, like you don't want it to be like Saints Row, where it's just like a faceless character that doesn't really have any depth to the story because he's just some monster you've created in the lab. So I like that they toned, if that was indeed something they were thinking about, I like that they kind of dialed back on that to give you a more focused experience with narrative driven, especially because story driven games are effectively seemingly dying in the industry, which is upsetting. So I'm excited to see that they're really hammering home that experience. I think games like that, Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, are really going to sell back to publishers and developers that we do want single-player experiences and that story-driven games are very exciting and will sell.
I think that's that last word that you said is so important here. I think that there is nothing, I don't think the popularity has dipped much at all on the single-player experience with a strong narrative. The problem is that the sites... There's like expectation creep on the investors, on the companies. They're like, well, we could be making this much more money, and so old modes of old game styles don't make as much as say Fortnite.
Well, it's interesting, because if you also think about this, like when you are developing a game and you have a huge story mode that's cutscenes, that's voice actors, there's so much cost involved in creating a story mode, and then you have to sell your copy of the game for $60, whereas games like Fortnite multiplayer games are like, here's our game for free, just give us $25 million a day and DLC, and it's like it's a no-brainer. I get why the developers are going that direction, but I think there's a time and a place. If I want to just shoot some fucking llamas, then I'll get on and play Fortnite. But primarily, me as a gamer, I want stories. So that's where I grew up with games.
I want to experience art. I love stories.
Games are art. Yeah, 100%. But since we're on the topic of controversy, Battlefield 5 has kind of gone through some nonsense lately, but they did have some news at GamesCom. So Battlefield 5's open beta finally got a launch date of September 4th for early access. This is for Origin Access Premier subscribers or those that pre-ordered. Chuckle. And it's September 6th for everyone else. However, controversy has struck with the claims that pre-orders are behind by 85% of Call of Duty. And people are upset, and people are there's a lot of talk that this is because everyone's so upset with the, I don't know, quote unquote agendas, historical quote inaccuracy. Now, people might be slightly uneducated and quick to react. Of course, there was female, the female presence in World War II. Probably not like in Battlefield 5 with like a hook for an arm and like jumping through windows and shit like that.
Yeah, dude with a samurai sword running around.
But people were upset because Battlefield 5 has primarily been a very grounded in realistic experience for.
They're looking for like as close, like the game is like a World War II or whatever simulator of the period, with like a slight deviation, making the gameplay funner than a typical simulator. Mm-hmm. So people expect like a good portion of the fans of the game are stickler for that, that authenticity.
Yeah. And I can respect that.
Yeah.
I respect the authenticity. The stuff that's happening that people are upset about does not bother me at all. Like, I would totally fine for a more arcadey feel.
Yeah.
I think this can be fine. I suspect that maybe when they get into the story mode or the little vignettes that they do for the single-player version of Battlefield 5, it may retain a more realistic feel. Mm-hmm. But we've gotten World War II games just over and over and over again for the last 20 years almost.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have been pretty realistic. I remember when the Xbox 360 launched and Call of Duty came out.
Dude, Call of Duty, extra hard mode, because it Call of Duty.
Yeah, we played Call of Duty 2 on veteran mode.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like that would be our closest experience to what war was like.
Yeah, one shot
is like
dead.
Yeah, and it was very cool, very fun experience, and we got I don't think we beat it, but we got really far. But sometimes I have nightmares about potato masher, McGregor. Yeah, exactly. So there are realistic experiences that you could get and have gotten several times. There's no problem I don't see with a more arcadey version, though I get that that's not always Battlefield's stick, so people are pissed off.
Yeah. When you deviate from what people expect, naturally people get uptight.
I think there's a couple things at play here. So pre-orders are behind Call of Duty by 85%. Battlefield, while a huge beast, never will be bigger than Call of Duty. For some reason, Call of Duty is like just the big dog on campus. Mm-hmm. They've outstayed their welcome in my life.
Yeah.
But people still buy it like it's going out of style.
Yeah.
And as long as there are 12-year-olds in the world who want to call you racial slurs and joke about banging your mom, there will always be Call of Duty games.
Yes.
And you can't release between Call of Duty and the biggest game since Grand Theft Auto 5 and not be surprised when your pre-orders are behind.
No kidding.
So that's factor number one. Factor number two, nobody is pre-ordering games as much anymore. Pre-orders are effectively starting to die. It used to be you would pre-order a game because you wanted a guaranteed copy of that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you pre-order games to get incentives like guns or extra levels or something stupid like that. Yeah. There's really no reason to pre-order games. I rarely will pre-order a game anymore. I'll pre-order like Mortal Kombat because I want pre-order bonuses.
Yeah.
I want those pre-order bonuses, but normally for games, I'll just download them the day they come out because there's an infinite amount of downloadable copies. It's not like it used to be. So coupled with the fact that I think pre-orders are a dying medium as it is, plus when you're launching right in the middle of a 3-week span with arguably going to be one of the biggest games of all time, plus Call of Duty, so of course you're going to have low numbers.
Yeah.
I think it's a terrible time for that game to release. I am fairly nervous that it won't succeed very well, and I wonder how that will affect the franchise going forward. Probably not very well because it's still a AAA franchise, and I'm sure we'll see more Battlefields. However, I am excited to see EA getting knocked on their butts a little bit because
absolutely,
they fucking
in big ways. I mean,
oh man,
not only did we have the whole debacle with the Battlefront and all that, and then they have some public relations issues and end up firing people because of Battlefield.
Yeah.
And then they make terrible business decisions, which I think is the majority of the problem with the new game. Releasing it right now, I mean, they're just making all the mistakes. And it's nice to see them facing some of the consequences.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like Green,
Yeah, I think we're going to see, hopefully, some change in business strategies from EA going forward.
Yeah.
Since we still got a couple of years that they have the Star Wars brand under their wings, I welcome any positive changes that they can bring forward.
Absolutely.
So the next thing that they showed was, of course, and I want to touch on this for a different reason, but they showed off some King K. Rool gameplay for Smash Brothers Ultimate. That was revealed in Direct along with Simon Belmont before Gamescom take place.
So I saw the Castlevania one.
Yeah, that's the same one. King K. Rool. He's the bad guy from fucking Donkey Kong.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, that sounds so familiar. What?
Yeah, this guy.
So, that's a step back. Holy crap!
Yeah, so his gameplay was announced or shown off at Gamescom, but I wanted to just touch on for a second because I couldn't be more fucking excited for Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Oh shit, yeah.
We love Smash here in the Ronin 24
good fun
area. I don't care for competitive Smash because it's like, you guys fucking pick a game. You know?
Yeah.
That being said, I don't care much for any competitive fighting elements at all anymore. But I couldn't think of a better time than sitting on the couch with my buddies playing Smash Brothers. I have some excellent memories going all the way back to like Melee with Yumi and Bone and stuff. Yeah. And every game henceforth has been like a really good time. And I am just flabbergasted by the amount of content that they're putting into this game.
Oh, yeah.
And did you see for the Castlevania stage alone?
Yeah.
Because they have Dracula's Castle as a stage, which you could fight Dracula as like a hidden element that will happen if you do certain things. But there are 38 different songs, Castlevania songs, that they recorded to put in.
Holy crap.
In just that stage alone.
That's insane.
Yeah. 900. Understand this number. Over 900 different musical cues.
Oh, wow.
In the game.
That's incredible. That's impressive.
I think that we'll see probably every musical cue from all the big games. Yeah. Mario, Zelda, Castlevania, stuff like that. It's just going to be a complete feat. The problem is how will Sakurai be able to top this going forward? Is this like...
That's a good question.
This is Smash Brothers. This is the end of it. We're done. Because Ultimate is like... The word ultimate means this is the best.
Yeah.
It's as good as it gets. So I have to, I'm very excited for the game launching in December. I'm going to dig into that hard.
Oh, yeah.
But I am curious to see what they'll do with the franchise going forward, because how do you beat this?
How do you top Ultimate?
How do you top all of the characters plus a bunch of other characters, all of the stages plus new stages, and all of the music that's ever been recorded in Mankind?
I don't know, man. Maybe they just have to keep the standard.
Yeah.
Ultimate 2, or they could...
Ultimate 2, and they
opulent.
Opulence. I has it. Yeah, it'd be sweet if they did like Ultimate 2, and it was just Mortal Kombat characters. And it was... that was a thing, actually, at E3 when everyone was like chomping at the bit for Ed Boon to reveal Mortal Kombat, and people started to like spread rumors that they were going to reveal it on Nintendo's Direct because Sub-Zero was going to be a character in Smash. And I think Max even did a video on it, and it like got like huge. I was like, you guys, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. So anyway, very excited for Smash. One other piece of news that I want to discuss a little bit is that I found this interesting is there will be Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot explained that fans are actually not going to get an Assassin's Creed title next year in 2019 because a lot of people were like, oh, what the fuck? You guys just released Assassin's Creed last year after a hiatus. We thought we were good, and now you're annually releasing again?
Yeah.
Because Odyssey comes out very soon. And the reason that happened is there was another interview with him is because they actually started developing Origins and Odyssey at the same time, two different teams.
Gotcha.
So Origins released, and then this game finished, and now it's releasing. But now he announced they don't have any more
finished product,
anything announced or anything that's coming out next year. So that leads me to believe I'm confident. I'm confident that we're going to see in 2020, October, November, Assassin's Creed fucking what you want.
Yep. Japan.
Do you think?
I think that you're right. You sent me something recently, and I was like, it seemed like kind of schlurky. Yeah. So is that legit?
Well, so here's what I sent you, is somebody found in the opening title sequence of Assassin's Creed 3, which is the Revolutionary War game that came out in 2011, there was like a flash in a sequence that showed Egyptian, then showed Greek, and then showed Japan. I can't imagine they had these plans laid out that far back.
I can't either.
Like, imagine, because Assassin's Creed 3 came out, and then they came out with Assassin's Creed 4, and then they came out with Assassin's Creed fucking knockoffs of in England. There's like 4 other games that came out since 3.
Yeah.
So when they found this, I was thinking, so you tried to tell me that they had and were teasing, hey, BT dubs in like 6 games, we're going to do these 3 games. It's like, I think it was coincidental, but the fucking me is like, you guys,
just deep down,
are you going to give us Assassin's Creed Japan? Because you cannot tell me that it's not something people want, because you've been hearing it, and now we've got 2 huge AAA games that are giving us what we want from Assassin's Creed. But maybe now, because of those 2 games, now their argument is maybe valid that it's going to be saturated. Because by the time an Assassin's Creed 2020 comes out, we'll have played Sekiro, and we'll hopefully have played through several times Ghost of Tsushima. Will we be still excited for an Assassin's Creed in Japan after we have those fills of those games? Here's
my question. What defines saturated, folks? Is saturated mean that we have so many games that that there's a decline for demand for that product? Is 2 games going to meet that demand and die off? I submit to you, nay, sir. When I was younger, I was frothing at the mouth for these games. Onimusha series and Ninja Gaiden and the Samurai, Showdown, all kinds of, Asian themed games. And there just wasn't enough. I can't imagine, these 16, 17, 35-year-old kids playing these games are just going to not buy them.
I agree. I would be more hard up, because I think Origins was a complete fucking 180 of the franchise and really brought it back to form. And I would throw money, like literal collector's editions and shit, at a samurai-based feudal Japan.
Same.
Assassin's Creed. I don't know, call me crazy, but I want what I want.
Yeah.
And you're not giving it to me. Speaking of Japan. Speaking of it. So we didn't get anything on Ghost of Tsushima at Gamescom, which was kind of sad, but we did get significant amounts of good stuff from Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. The first thing we got a release date, which is coming out March 22nd, 2019 on the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. That's good. It's coming out soonish.
Yes.
Probably going to come out much sooner than we'll see Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
Miyazaki said that he's quoted that there was an interview with Game Informer that he wanted a feudal, he was inspired, he wanted feudal Japanese, he wanted a Japanese-inspired game, and he was heavily inspired by Tenchu, which is everything that Gordy and I wanted to hear when we saw this game. And then, of course, there are several 10, 12-plus minute gameplay videos of a certain sequence in the game. Everybody's got their own version of the gameplay video. Let's discuss this, because I myself am not a big fan of super fucking hard games. I never played Dark Souls. I did not play Bloodborne. This is, of course, made by this is from Software, so this is the creators of Bloodborne. I didn't play Bloodborne. I tried playing Neo because that is samurai-ish, but I was like, what is this game even trying to accomplish with the difficulty? It was just like, that's not even fun for me.
Yeah.
So I'm nervous that Sekiro is going to be so hard that the enjoyment is not going to be there for me, because I'm not that great at games. I love games. I love talking about games. I love the games industry, and I love everything about video games and the culture of gaming, but I myself am not great at games. There are a select few games that I am above average, very good at, like Mortal Kombat 2 and older games, but newer games, and especially the games that are like, will fuck your life up with difficulty, I can't do it. It's not my bag of fucking dicks. I can't. I'm not good at them.
Yeah.
How do you feel about super ultra difficult games? This is the reason I didn't get into Ninja Gaiden on Xbox and stuff like that.
That's where I was going with it. I used to love them. I used to love like the old NES games. You had more patience. You had more time. When you're a kid, you died. Oh, well, I'll play this level over again. It's
Not only
Saturday.
That, you would start the whole game over again in some instances.
You would. So, and then, I started souring on the experience with the Ninja Gaiden for Xbox. It was really difficult. Thinking back, it was the most frustrated I've ever been. I might have even, said a curse word. No, seriously, I was ready to break my controller playing that game. But I'm done with it. I want story experiences. I love challenge sometimes, but I like strategy more, and I don't like having to pick out these really complex patterns and then just do it over and over and over again. I want to go in there. I want to obliterate the boss after maybe dying once or twice. I don't need to die 30 times.
Yeah, totally. So let's talk about what we're hoping and we want and what we're scared about. Because, so obviously it's going to have difficulty.
Yes.
We watched gameplay footage and people were talking about it's hard. But I've seen some conflicting reports. Some people said it's not as hard as Bloodborne. And you guys who are listening and or watching can correct me if I'm wrong, because I never played them. But the consensus that I have in my mind is that Bloodborne is easier, quote unquote, than Dark Souls. It's the less punishing of the two franchises. And people were saying it's easier than Bloodborne because you have the traversal of the grappling hook, which allows you to move around and you're not rolling around like a fuckhead.
Mobile as hell.
Mobile as shit. Not to mention you have the resurrect ability. So when you get killed, you immediately get another chance at what you're doing, which I feel like lends to alleviate a little bit of the frustration of dying and having to start back at your bonfire or whatever.
Yeah.
If that is the case, where it's still hard, but it's less hard and a little bit more forgiving, are you excited about it?
Just the aesthetic has me sold. It looks like Tenchu and Onimusha had a love baby. And, they got some programmers from software to work on it. Yeah. So the visuals have sold me. I have to try it. I got to. And,
and the whole notion of Tenchu inspiration, like it's been 12 years since we've had a Tenchu game. Yeah. The last game, Tenchu Z, came out on Xbox 360 in 2006, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And that was it. Then the franchise just fucking withered away into nothing. And I don't even think Tenchu Z was a really great experience, but we loved it. And you played this ever-living fuckballs out of it,
if I
remember.
Yeah, I beat it like 4 times.
Yeah. So I need a Tenchu experience in my life. And if there's some developers if the rights are tied up somewhere and they can't make it, I will absolutely settle for a Tenchu inspired game. And I think that's what we have here.
Yeah.
I just want to know, and I'm hoping, what is the level of ninja-ish stealth that I can accomplish? Like you were mentioning when we were watching gameplay videos, that it didn't look like he could like hide in bushes, or at least that wasn't something they showed off in that demo. It's possible it's in the final build.
Yeah.
I want to be able to hide in bushes. I want to be able to set like traps, like poison buns and stuff like that. I want to be able to stab through like Soji screens and shit, which Ghosts of Tsushima is giving us. So if it's not in Sekiro, I'll be okay.
Assassinations. So awesome.
I don't mind the cool sword battles that we're obviously going to have. Like those look cool, but what stealth ability am I going to be able to have? And that's I think if there is a significant stealth mechanic, I think will lessen the difficulty and be more of a quote unquote forgiving nature, because some people don't want to play aggressively and they'll lurk in the shadows and kill and that's less difficult than fucking getting killed over and over again in a boss fight. Exactly.
I think that was one of the beautiful things about stealth games, is that fighting someone head on is so brutal and difficult. And, you got to parry and all that shit like that.
Matthew Perry.
So, Matthew Perry. So, it like almost rewards you for stealth, but there is the option to go, balls to the wall and attack. I'm hoping for that option in the game.
Yeah. Me too. I'm super stoked. I think that's a definitely day one buy. I will not pre-order it though, but I will buy it. Next thing I want to talk about, this you probably have no idea about, but there was a whole brand new game announcement from Supermassive, who are the creators of Until Dawn, which was a PS4 exclusive story-based game. I don't think you played. Do you know it? Do you remember Until Dawn? I had it and I played it all the way to completion, but I played it with my...
What? Tell me the aesthetic.
Choice-based horror. So your decisions shifted the narrative. So
what year?
This was 2015, I think.
Oh, it's been a while. Okay, I never played it, and I don't recall it very well. But
that's fine.
Tell me things.
So this is so that developer, that game was incredible. Until Dawn was a fantastic entry. It had a great narrative. The action and you're looking at pictures. Do you recognize it now? Because it's got Hayden Panettiere in it.
Yeah, I never played it.
Yeah. I know you didn't.
But I do recall the cover.
Anyway, it's fantastic. Anyway, so they announced their new quote unquote games. So they are doing what is called Dark Pictures. Dark Pictures is going to be a horror anthology game. So it's the Dark Pictures anthology, and they're going to be releasing, starting in 2019, 2 games a year. They're going to be bite-sized games. They didn't really dig into how long the games are going to be or what kind of experiences they're going to be, but it'll be kind of like that. Until Dawn, it'll be kind of like that, where your decisions shape the game, I assume, and it'll be these narrative experiences that are in a genre of horror. Each game will be a different genre of horror, and you play through. And they announced the first one is going to be called Man of Medan, and that's going to be the first game in this Dark Pictures anthology game. And there is gameplay footage of it, which I admittedly have not yet watched. I just watched the announcement trailer. I haven't watched the gameplay footage, so I don't know what Man of Medan is going to be like as of yet. But I'm very excited. I remember that I can't remember where I saw, but they were talking about how had like 70 different stories and genres laid out of what kind of stuff we're talking. They could do like slashers, they could do like vampires, werewolves, ghosts, possession, all kinds of different stuff, because they are so good at telling horror stories. And you should, because you've got Until Dawn on your PlayStation now, effectively, since we're game sharing. Is this game play like Hard Rain, or exactly like Hard Rain? Oh, okay. So it's like it pulls you along in the story. Yeah, it's just like. What's the fucking Cyborg game that just came out that we wanted to play that we haven't played yet? Oh, that's done by the Hard Rain guys. Oh, yeah. Cyborg, you mean Android? Whatever. I cannot think of the name. Detroit. Yeah, Become Human. So it's that same kind of game. Oh, okay. So there are some action elements, but it's about picking what you're going to do. But it's you control your character. Cool. Yeah, man, it's great. So I'm really excited to see what they do with that, because that's totally different. And of course, I love horror more than I can tell you. So it's really cool to see someone doing a different story-based games, but different than you would expect in any other type of game. We're doing 2 different games a year. It's going to be bite-sized experiences, $20 titles maybe. I don't know what to expect there. I think it's just such a cool idea. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do. And I hope, if you aren't familiar with that yet, that you go and check it out and maybe support that. That way we get more of those coming through. Because the last dark universe that we got was cinematically with The Mummy, which flopped and failed. Yes, and terribly. So this should be hopefully a good horror universe. Cool. So the next thing, we've got a couple more things here. Shenmue 3 finally has a release date. Deep Silver announced Shenmue 3 is going to release on August 27th, 2019 for PC and PS4. Now, if you recall, Gordy, this was a Kickstarter back in 2015. I do. I backed this, which I forget that I backed it. Yeah. I forgot about it. And then every time I get an email, they're like, hey, we're still working on the game. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. This was 2015. This game has been in development now for 4 years. So now they have a release date. This was at the time, and probably still as of today, the most successful video game Kickstarter in history. Yes. Now, we loved Shenmue, the first one. We loved it quite a bit. Yes. We never played Shenmue 2. I don't know why. I can't explain. It makes no sense. You're right, because you really liked it. I was way into Shenmue. Yeah. It was like, Japan, the 80s. Like, holy shit. Revenge. Who Killed My Father? Martial arts. Yeah. Like, come on. Get out of here. So the collection for Shenmue 1 and 2 is coming out on Xbox and PS4 very soon. Yes. So I think, obviously, that's a must-have. So we can play through Shenmue 1 again. And then for the first time, for whatever reason, play through Shenmue 2. Yes. Where can I find all the sailors? Or whatever. Can you wait? I can't remember the line. Can you tell me where I can find sailors? I don't know. Where can I find some sailors? My only problem is I don't back very many things on Kickstarter. We both backed I Fight Dragons, that album. That was a great experience. Great product. But then I backed the Friday the 13th game from Gun Media, which is a fucking disaster of a title. Yeah. It's awful. The developers are shady fucking people. It was I don't know if I'll ever back a video game on Kickstarter again. Plus, if you think back to Mighty Number 9, how much of a disaster that was for all those backers.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that this is a successful Kickstarter story.
Absolutely. Super hopeful.
I think it will be.
Super hopeful.
Yeah. I think it will be. I'm pretty confident in it. But I'm really excited to see what happens. I hope this concludes the story, so we won't have to wait another 20 years to finally see what happens.
Yeah.
But Shenmue 3 finally coming out.
Yep.
The last thing I want to talk about, and this isn't really tied to Gamescom news. This is just news that just came out very recently, but I thought it was super cool. So God of War obviously came out recently and was a fantastic title. You've just recently started it, so you're on your God of War journey. Excellent title. But what is cool is they are releasing a tie-in book for God of War. This is a novelization of the story. Fucking cool. I think that's super great. However, I myself prefer audiobooks because I can experience a story while I'm doing other stuff, while I'm working, and I like the aspect of being told the story. It's very cool. Very reminiscent of ancient days when you would sit around and listen to people tell you stories. That's how I like to consume my novelizations now. They announced that, first of all, the book itself is being penned by J.M. Balrog, which is very cool because that is the dad of Cory Balrog. Who,
awesome name.
Yeah. Cory Balrog was the game director of God of War. His dad is writing the novelization of it. So it's like fucking dope, right? But, this may be a spoiler for you, in the game, and this is as per Game Informer, my note here, as per Game Informer for Fuckface Gordy, because they had a good summarize here.
Yeah.
Mimir, who is a character in God of War, is quote unquote the smartest man alive. He's carried around by Kratos through about half the game. You find him about halfway through, and then he's like on your belt. Yeah. The head regales to you with tales around the world of you and mythology of the Norse pantheon. Kratos finds himself embroiled in. This makes him a natural choice because what's happening here is the voice actor for Mimir, Alastair Duncan, is doing the audiobook for.
Nice.
He's doing the narration for audio.
So cool.
It's going to be. I'm so excited for it. I'm actually probably going to buy a physical copy of the book just to be able to support the effort that they're taking this amazing story and giving it a new medium to be told. It's usually kind of unheard of for video games. You always get movie tie-in books and novelizations of movies and stuff, but you very rarely see story modes for games that are so successful and have characters that are so well loved also receive the same treatment. Sometimes you get comic books and stuff like that. So I'm very excited about this. I think this is great.
It's way cool.
I hope to see more games going forward that are so excellently told and have such wonderfully rich characters that we get other mediums of entertainment for them. I know we're getting like an Uncharted movie, which is weird. Did you hear about that?
Tell me about it.
So they're moving forward on an Uncharted movie.
Really?
Guess who's playing Nathan Drake?
Who?
Guess.
Dude from YouTube?
Nope.
Nathan Drake himself?
Nope.
Chris Pratt?
Oh, no. This is the weirdest casting you'll ever think. Fucking Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
Tom Holland? They got a 12-year-old to play
because it's
Nathan
a prequel to the first game when he's young.
Oh, dude, I love that part in the game where you're the
so it's
young Drake.
That age. So he's playing.
That's wicked cool.
It's cool. It's cool. I think Tom Holland would be great as a young Nathan Drake.
Yeah, I love Tom Holland.
I would have enjoyed to see a take on the known Uncharted story cinematically. However, I know that that's not possible because it's near impossible for Hollywood to make a good video game movie. We saw their latest attempt at that with the Tomb Raider movie, which I think, in my opinion, fell flat to what the game told. So anyway, that's fine. That's it for the stuff I wanted to talk about that happened. That's all the big stuff that's happened since we last had an episode and at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Of course, if you are looking for stuff to play this week, there are a couple things of note that are dropping. Far Cry 5 Dead Living Zombies DLC is launching on the 28th. If that's up your bag, I'll be skipping that one. And then, of course, Divinity Original Sin 2 is launching on PS4, also on the 28th. And there's a slew of other things for like mobile and other indie games coming out. Nothing that I really felt the need. Because we, like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we are on the precipice of games coming out in the next couple months, so everyone's kind of just chilling, waiting for those games to come and go. Not a lot of releases coming.
Yeah.
I guess that's the episode.
That brings us through it. There's the news, folks.
There it is. We have successfully done a podcast with no tech issues, at least in the production of this.
At least in
we'll see what
production.
happens in the editing process.
Yes.
I feel confident about it, though. Let me tell you, the listener or the watcher, a couple of things. One, you could be possibly experiencing this podcast in your ears. If that is the case, or not, you can find the audio version of this podcast and all of our other podcasts that are on the Ronin Podcast Network on pretty much any of your favorite podcasting services. We're like on Stitcher, we're on Apple iTunes, we're on Google Play, all kinds of stuff like that. Anchor.fm. Spotify. Yep, Spotify. All of our audio podcasts show up on there. However, if you're experiencing the video version of this on YouTube, hello there, I'm waving at you, and it's nice to see you. Thanks for sticking along and watching some stuff. However you're experiencing this, we would appreciate it if you told your friends about the podcast or shared this video with other people, perhaps gave us a rating on the podcast service, or perhaps thumbs up this video and maybe press the subscribe button if you have not yet done so. There are so many things you can do to assist Adam Ronin and Gordy and anyone else that comes along on our Ronin journeys. There are several people that help out with the channels and the podcasts. Jake and holy fuck, I just choked on my own fucking spit. There's Jake, or the Bone, and Timmy, all of our friends. It means the world to us if we can spread the word a little bit. However, if you're just feeling just crazy, you're like, I love you so much. Like, you complete me. Like, you're Tom Cruising us. We're Renee Zellweger. We're crying in the living room, and you're looking at us, and you're saying, you complete me. How could I support you further? Well, I tell you, you can check us out at patreon.com/R24. That is a place where you can get tons of rewards. You can get early content. You can support and help shape the future of the things you want to see and experience through all of our channels, be it R24, Paper or Plastic, Fourth Wall. Everything's there. And the cool thing is, you get some shout outs if you're on particular tiers. So the first thing is, I want to shout out our big buddy Pecked, Creepy Buddy. Oh, yeah. He's on our $25 tier, and that guy is just the dude. He's been there since day one. He's given us a lot of money. He really has, and I appreciate him. He's paid for a lot of the gear. The amount of money that he's given us could have paid for one of these mics.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of him.
Absolutely.
But of course, going down there, we've got Diabeto63. He's a good boy of ours, so shout out to him. Of course, the one and only Muffled Scream. He is a beautiful man. We've got the beautiful Liv Savage. We've got Mike, quote unquote, Bud Young Play, Wrong Channel Joe, the bearded Sama. The Sama, the beautiful Sama. He's a fucking dude, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a beard and a half.
He's a beard and a half. He likes it when I joke about semen in his beard.
Does he? Is that like a thing?
I don't know if he does. Okay. Of course, our good buddy Jake Norton. You all love Note. And then, of course, our newest Patreon, Stephanie Chappell, who just signed up. So we have some more.
Wonderful.
We have some more vaginas floating around, if you will. now she unsubs. Yeah. All right, guys. That is the episode 5 of the Boss Battle Show. We will return, hopefully in a week or so, with episode 6, where we'll dig into augmented reality, what it means for the future, and what is coming with Magic Leap and HoloLens and all, perhaps Apple glasses. Gordy.
Yo.
Say something.
Something.
Good.
Good night, everybody.